Boxing Truth here. Some post-fight thoughts to Errol Spence's first title defense against Lamont Peterson. His immediate reaction to the fight. It went as I was expected. Errol made dominant work of Lamont Peterson, won every round, was too strong, too physical, and he was just a better fighter, too young, too fresh, too strong. And he was able to submit Lamont Peterson. Well, Barry Hunter called it a day for Lamont after 7 rounds. It was a good one-sided action fight. It was nice to see neither guy take much step back. They were both right in front of each other, taking turns teeing off on each other. It was pretty much Errol doing most of the teeing off, but it was rare to see, two guys mostly stand right in front of each other and try to bang out with each other. But it was not very competitive, not very compelling, and Errol did what he was supposed to do. So he accomplished something by not having Boxing Truth call him a hype job and a bum if he would have struggled. Because if he would have struggled, it really wouldn't expose Errol Spence as a questionable champion, as, is it really as good as advertised? But he is a good fighter. There are some holes defensively, but he has a good gas tank. He has good whiskers. He has very good technique. He has good boxing fundamentals, and he's a pressure fighter, and he's an action fighter. So there's going to be some action when it comes to his fights. He's going to break his opponents down. He's going to try to put a beating on his opponents. I appreciate his style. I appreciate that he likes to bring action in the ring. And he's willing to fight any of the top welters out there. There are some scheduling issues. There's an issue with Thurman's rehabilitation process, getting back in the ring after a long time off. So Errol has to wait for that unification bout. In the meantime, he can stay busy, be more active than he was the year prior, where he only had one fight. Get another title defense in. If it's a no-name nobody, then so be it. As long as you stay active, stay sharp, stay in the headlines, stay in the news, keep yourself relevant. Another 8-month layoff for another voluntary defense is not very ideal for your career. So, good performance overall. Did what he was expected to do, what he was supposed to do. So, Errol gets props for doing what he was expected to do, which was dominate Lamont Peterson, make some sort of a statement, knock him down, and pretty much get the stoppage. Lamont's a tough guy. Tried to weather the storm, tried to drown Errol Spence, but he just was broken down physically. And after that knockdown in the 5th, the fight was pretty much over. The fight was beaten out of him. So, moving forward, Errol Spence doesn't really have much options. The mandatory is due, but he can request for an exemption to fight somebody else, since the mandatory is not very attractive. It's Carlos Ocampo. He's the highest rated contender. He's been ordered by the IBF to make the mandatory defense after this fight. But he could opt to request an exemption from the IBF if they approve of it, but he's going to have to make the mandatory sooner or later. So it's not an attractive fight with Ocampo. And also, what network will be interested in the fight? Showtime will have to, put some money out for that fight. But you look at the IBF rankings, there's really not much out there. I mean, Ray Robinson and Yordenis Ugas are going to fight for the eliminator. They're going to fight an eliminator for the IBF to get closer to the mandatory position. There's just not much to choose from in the IBF rankings. There's some promotional issues. Bradley Skeet's rated. Maybe if he's dying for a title shot, maybe he could be an opponent for Errol Spence. Other than that, there's not really much to choose from. So you won't expect a top big fight for Errol Spence next. It's gonna be a while before we see him in a big fight. But in the meantime, he can stay busy with some title defenses, some good performances, some explosive performances, and it's only going to build anticipation for the eventual unification with Keith Thurman, which I won't believe will take place until 2019. I know who Keith's going to fight. He will fight Jesse Vargas in his return, and then he's going to make his mandatory defense against Shawn Porter. And Errol Spence, he's going to have to stay busy in the meantime, get rid of the mandatory, clear his obligations, clear his scheduling, and then take at least another 2 fights this year. Stay busy and just put on more good performances. And the fight with Keith Thurman will be ripe and ready with a big storyline, a big promotion, and it will be considered a 50-50 fight. If Errol continues to perform like this, he's a formidable fighter with some good attributes and a good chin. He hasn't really shown that you can put a dent on him. Well, at least not with the opponents that he's been put in front of so far. So he's definitely a fighter with difficulty to beat because of his physicality, his power, his strength. He's very big for the division. He pretty much was bullying Lamont Peterson in there. But he's never fought somebody like Keith Thurman, a fighter as smart as Keith Thurman. So that's going to be Errol's test in the welterweight division, the unification with Keith Thurman. But y'all let me know what y'all think about the fight. Errol Spence performance, were you impressed? Did he do what he was supposed to do? This is Boxing Truth. I'm out.